Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we are going to be talking about Remi and a TikTok that came out recently that has made quite the wave, and I've had quite a few people send it to me and ask me to share my thoughts on it. Before we get into that, I do want to share like a little bit of the history. So the last time we talked about Remi was about 6 months ago. We can see young John there. 6 months ago. My hair's gotten longer. We're getting some curls. But this video, we were talking about this article that came out from The Cut where it was titled, I never asked to be the face of a movement. TikTok made Remi Bader a body positive influencer. Behind the scenes, she was struggling with an ED, and it was all about how she was, she didn't want to be the face of body positivity or fat acceptance or anything like that, and she didn't ask for that. Right, and so we talked about that. But recently, this TikTok came out where she was talking about people commenting on her body and, making their opinions be known. Some of them not very nice. Some of them, I'm sure, maybe not super mean, but it's something that people deal with when you're online. When you share your, you share your body and you share your journey online, you're going to deal with people leaving comments. But we're going to go ahead and go over this TikTok, and I'll just share my opinions.
Okay, so I really try to not look at the really mean things online the best that I can, because it really saves my mental health by not looking at it.
So first off, I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I personally try not to read comments like that as well. I don't think that humans are built to handle the amount of comments and, opinions that happen online, right? Like before the internet and before this, like you maybe dealt with a few people in your inner circle or the people that were around you, and maybe there were some dissenting opinions and you had conversations with those people. But now, especially when you're a quote unquote influencer, you're dealing with thousands and thousands of comments, and it's, it goes from one extreme to the other and people saying things. And so I definitely understand not wanting to read them. I don't really fault anyone for doing that, because I think regardless of how strong you are, quote unquote, how strong you are, it's hard to deal with that. And so I don't think that there's any fault in doing that.
But there's some things that like come up in my comments that I can't not see. And there's been a ridiculous amount lately of just like the body shaming and saying things I already know. Like I don't need to hear it again. So like saying things like, it's like how much bigger I got and how much weight I've gained and how unhealthy I look and whatever it is. So I've definitely changed my mind, because I really was, felt like it was helpful to other people that I care about or don't know and still care about, to help by sharing my health journey and what I'm doing for myself with the world, because I think that could be helpful with people going through similar struggles. But I decided tonight that I'm no longer going to do that. My health journey will now be my business. What I choose to do, whether that's gain or lose weight, medications I take, supplements I take, my workout routine, whatever it is, I'm not going to share. So
I think that this is the right decision. This is how I feel, and I've talked about this many times. When it comes to sharing your journey online and like trying to become a weight loss influencer, obviously I know that Remi would never consider herself that, I'm sure. But like people that would consider themselves that, or they want to, share their journey and quote unquote inspire people. I understand wanting to do that. How do I know that? Because that was me 9 years ago. Yeah, we're getting old, you guys. 9 years ago, right, was when I started this, close to 10 now. And I understand that want. And to a certain extent, it is fun, right? Especially when you don't have that many people replying to you, commenting, and it's for the most part pretty healthy. And like, there's only a few people that, you have that circle and they're supportive and you support them, and that's all great. But once you start getting more and more and more attention, it almost always ends badly for the person that's trying to lose weight. And I'm not just saying they end up not losing weight anymore. Sometimes they actually end up losing weight too well. What do I mean by that? They can't stop. They don't know how to stop. And they have become so used to always seeing that number on the scale go down and go down and go down, that once they maybe hit their quote unquote goal weight or the weight that they're happy with, they don't know what to do anymore. and they feel like they have to continue doing that, or like if I don't continue some sort of series, like people aren't going to watch anymore because they're not going to be interested and stuff like that. But the most common thing that I have noticed is that it becomes too much, and they do struggle with losing weight and continuing that journey, which isn't abnormal because I think all of us know how difficult it is to lose weight. So imagine doing that in front of an audience of people that, you know, they don't know you that well, but they have started following you because you are losing weight and they are inspired by that and they want to see more. But they don't realize a lot of times that you were just a regular person before you started this journey. A lot of people that have lost a lot of weight or are losing weight, they don't really know much about nutrition. They don't know why things are working. They don't have any extra knowledge that most people have. And so I have seen so many times the amount of, and this might sound judgmental, but like the amount of terrible advice coming from people that have lost a lot of weight. Again, I understand. You could call me out if you want, right? I am that person. I get it. I 100% get it, right? And so that's why I always tell people, don't just listen to what I have to say. Do your own research. Figure it out for yourself. Like if you're following someone because they've lost weight, don't automatically assume they have some, extra knowledge that no one else has. Like that's just not the case. And so many people, they start losing weight, they get this following, they start receiving comments like this. They start receiving people almost, and sometimes it's maybe not even negative comments, but like the positive comments almost make you feel like you owe it to people to be successful. And then when you do start to slip, it already feels bad. It already sucks, right? Like you're already frustrated with yourself. But then on top of that, you feel like you are letting down hundreds, maybe even thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands in Remi's case of people because you're not able to stick to the thing that you said you were going to do, right? 2 weeks ago, I said I was going to stick to my diet and now I've failed. And now do I have to make this TikTok talking about how I failed? And that's going to be embarrassing. Okay, maybe I'll hide it. And then you end up hiding it. People find out and then you feel embarrassed. People are calling you out on social media. You have to come out and say, yeah, you know what? I failed. And then people are going to call you out for lying. And this is common, right? And so I understand wanting to pull back and not want to share that as much. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, in my opinion.
I do the best I can with I want to, and that's who I am. And that's why I'm on social media, is share with the world everything going on in my day to day, because I feel like that's just so true to me.
And I do think it's important. Yes, I'm sure all that stuff's true, but also there is money involved. When you get to a large enough number, like there is some money involved. And so like you have to always, I think that's important to mention. Like a lot of reason that people stick to doing things that maybe they don't want to do is because there is that sponsor money or that money that you get from AdSense, whatever it might be. Like that's a huge part of it, right?
But I don't know why it's even allowed online. Shaming someone and the way they look and how every single day is so disgusting. And so it's like, if I'm already taking care of myself and working on the things I need to work on, imagine seeing that every fucking day over and over and over, and in a horrible way. You're not, the people that are saying it aren't people that want good for me. You can pretend you want good for me, but it's actually people that just want the worst for me, and it's just fun for them to keep making fun of me and do it publicly.
I don't think that I would push back on that. I don't think everyone is that person that you're describing. I do think there's a good amount, of course, right? But I'm sure there are people that are like, I thought you said you wanted to do this and now that's not happening. Like there are some people that genuinely might be confused. They do want the best for you. They remember you. I'm saying you as just in general, right? They might remember you saying, oh, I want to do this thing. And then a few months later, that thing's not happening. They're like, yo, what happened to that thing that you said you wanted to do, right? And so I think it's dangerous to generalize everyone that might leave a comment that isn't praise as a troll or someone that, doesn't like you and they hate follow you, right? I don't think that that's necessarily true.
So I've made that decision. I know a lot of you, especially in my Q&As and whatever it is, like are always asking about my health journey, want me to share. I share openly what medications I'm on with my anxiety medicine and things that haven't worked for me in the past. Like I've shared a freaking lot with a lot of people that I don't need to. And I do that because I care, but I'm now going to do what's best for me, and I'm going to keep that to myself. And any questions that anyone has about my health or my weight or my journey, unless you are a close friend of mine and genuinely care about me, you're not going to know that.
I like it. Do it. I'm here for it.
So I just had to say that before I go to sleep tonight, because it's really, it's very, very hard. It's really hard to see this every single day.
Okay, so that's all I'm going to share with the video, because the rest of it is her like crying and kind of saying the same stuff, and I don't like to really watch people cry on camera. So I'm going to end it there. No disrespect. I hope that doesn't seem disrespectful, but I don't think it's necessary. I think, like, for me, everything that I needed to show, I've showed already. But I am in full support of this. I think that I personally think this is what most people, I don't want to say should do, because people can do whatever they want. But I think a lot of people that might be struggling, like, this might be a good thing to do, right? To really kind of reel back how much you're sharing online. And this is something that I've done personally, not like I made an active decision and never made a video where I was like, I'm no longer sharing this stuff. But I think naturally, just through the comments that I've received, like, I used to do a lot more vlogs and sharing what I'm eating, but it's not fun to deal with people commenting on every little thing you do, of how you cook. How did you do this? Why did you do it like this? You should have done it like this. Why did you do it like this? You should have done it like this. Like, it becomes exhausting, right? And so I do think that this is the right decision, but at the end of the day, like, if you are someone that has made a good amount of your brand about the size of your body, about how big you are, how much weight you've lost, how much weight you've gained, how much you love your body regardless of your weight, yada, yada, yada. Like, when you make a big part of your brand and your online presence about that stuff about your body, it is to be expected that you are going to get comments on it. I am not saying, I want to make this clear, not saying that I condone anyone saying mean stuff. I don't like to receive negative comments or mean comments. It's not fun. Like, I'm not saying I condone it, but I am never surprised, right? When someone makes fun of my loose skin, or says something about, when I had my nails painted, or when I had facial piercings, right? Like, I'm not like, I can't believe this. Oh my God. Like, it makes sense. I get it. I understand. Do I like it? No, of course not. But I understand it comes with the territory. And so and it seems like she wants that to kind of die down a little bit and not happen as much. One of the things you can do as a creator online is just stop sharing that stuff, and naturally the comments will slow down. They probably will never stop, because people always comment about how people look regardless of what the content is. But you do have some power in not making content about your body, and that absolutely makes the amount of comments about your body slow down a little bit, right? Like, when I do full day of eatings, I get a lot more comments about how the way I cook or the food that I eat is boring, or yada yada. When I stop making those videos, those comments pretty much disappear. It's the same thing with loose skin, all of that stuff, right? And so I think that this is the right step, but it's definitely something that I've noticed a lot of people struggle with. And so hopefully, this is a positive experience, and she feels like this was the right thing to do. I'm curious what y'all think down in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.